Hey guys, I'm gonna show you how to make Shamrock cream cookies. To make the dough, you'll need half a cup of white sugar and half a cup of brown sugar, 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 cup of milk, half a cup of butter, 2 eggs, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and green food coloring, a couple of mixing bowls and a strainer or a sifter. You will also need a cookie sheet lined with baking paper and a Shamrock cookie cutter. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Begin by sifting your flour into a bowl. Add the baking soda, baking powder, and salt. Mix it all together and then set it aside. In another bowl, cream your butter. Once it's nice and smooth, mix in both of your sugars. Once the sugars have been incorporated, beat in your eggs one at a time. Pour in 1/3 of the flour and mix until combined. Pour the vinegar into the milk and then pour half of the milk into the batter. Then pour in another 1/3 of the flour and mix until it's combined. Mix in the last of the milk. And then the rest of the flour. Add the vanilla and thoroughly combine. Next, mix in the food coloring. I'm using a gel, but you can use a liquid if that's what you have. You'll just need to use more and it won't be quite as vibrant. The batter got to be a bit too much for my mixer, so I chose to finish it by mixing by hand. Once there's no more streaks in the batter, transfer it into a piping bag or a Ziploc bag. Twist the ends so that the batter doesn't get squeezed out. On a sheet of parchment paper, trace around your cookie cutter using a Sharpie. Flip the sheet over so you don't get any ink in your cookies. Cut the corner of your bag. Then pipe around the border of the shape and then fill it in. Use a toothpick to fill in any gaps and to straighten up the edges. Put them in the oven for 4 to 6 minutes. Keep a close eye on them as they bake quickly. When they're done, put them on a cooling rack to cool while you bake off the next set of cookies. You'll know they're finished baking when they no longer look wet and they're just turning golden brown around the edges. My cookies spread out a bit when they were baking and they looked a bit funny, so I decided to take the cookie cutter and cut them out. You can skip this step if you want to. To make the filling, you will need half a jar of marshmallow cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of butter, and 1 cup of icing sugar. You will also need a mixing bowl, an electric mixer, and a Ziploc or a piping bag. First, you'll cream the butter until it's soft and fluffy. But make sure you're paying attention to the mixing and not the camera. Once your butter is smooth, add the icing sugar. While you're mixing, it'll look crumbly, but keep mixing, it'll come together. Add the vanilla and the marshmallow cream. Fold them into the mixture until it's smooth and fluffy. It'll take 1 to 2 minutes. When it's done, it should look like this. Spoon the filling into a piping or a Ziploc bag. Then pipe the filling onto half of the cookies. Put the plain halves on top, and you're done.